Welcome, my dear disenchanted dreamers and architects of chaos. GA around, won't you? The world outside may call you outcasts, rebels, or even madmen, but hero, here you are among kindred spirits. Today, we unmask the lie, peel back the layers that they have wrapped around your souls in an effort to keep you small and docile. Today, we embrace the truth that you are something beyond what they ever could have imagined, something so powerful that it forces the world to take notice, even though they try to pretend you don't exist. What did you do to them? They are stunned and amazed you exist because you are a force that shakes the very foundation of everything they hold dear. You are the anomaly. They can't explain the disruption they were never prepared for. They see you, and they are forced to reckon with the existence of something. They never planned for something that makes them question everything they've ever believed about power and order, about success and purpose. They look at you, and they don't know whether to fear you or to worship you. Either way, they know they can't ignore you anymore because you have become undeniable. They are stunned and amazed by your existence because you are a mirror to all of their insecurities, their failures, and their limitations. And every time they look into your eyes, they are forced to see just how much of a lie they have built their lives around, how much of their so-called normalcy is a prison they locked themselves in. What did you do to them, you ask? You shattered their illusions. You tore down their walls of comfort and security. You made them question whether the path they've been following is really the right one, or if they've been marching in circles all this time, building a life around someone else's idea of what success looks like, someone else's idea of what happiness should feel like. You broke free from their expectations, and you showed them that there is another way to live, a way that isn't defined by rules or limits or the narrow vision of those who are too afraid to step outside the box. What did you do to them? You made them confront their own mediocrity. You made them face the reality that they have been living in a state of complacency and conformity for far too long, that they have let their potential slip away while they hid behind the mask of societal approval. You didn't just step outside the lines, you obliterated them. You refused to be confined by their notions of what was possible, and in doing so, you sparked something deep within them, something they can't ignore, no matter how hard they try to suppress it. What did you do to them? You made them feel small. You made them feel insignificant, because in your presence, they see the truth of what they could have been, but were too afraid to become. You made them realize that they have been wasting their lives on the pursuit of things that don't matter, on the pursuit of status and recognition from people who will never understand what it means to truly live. They've spent their days chasing after fleeting pleasures and shallow accolades, while you have been quietly building something real, something that will endure long after they've faded into the background. What did you do to them? You have made them realize the fragility of their world, the frailty of the illusions they've built their identities upon, and the emptiness of the systems they've placed their faith in. They thought they had it all figured out. They thought they had a grasp on reality. But you have shown them that reality is not as solid as they believed it to be, that it is something malleable and fluid, something that can be bent and shaped by those who are brave enough to challenge the status quo. They are stunned and amazed by your existence because they have spent their entire lives living in fear of what might happen if they break free from the chains of conformity, and you have shown them the terrifying beauty of what happens when you embrace the unknown, when you throw away the rule book and trust yourself to carve your own path. You have made them question their own cowardice, their own hesitation to take risks and to push beyond the boundaries of what they were told was possible. What did you do to them? You made them realize that they have been playing it safe for too long, that they have been living in the shadows of those who dare to take risks. while they have been too afraid to even step into the light. You showed them the power of daring to be different, of stepping into the unknown and embracing the chaos that comes with it. What did you do to them? You made them realize that they have been chasing after fleeting comfort instead of the raw intensity of real living. You showed them that it's not the easy path that leads to greatness. It's the one that is full of obstacles and challenges and pain and sacrifice. It's the one that forces you to dig deep and find out what you're truly made of. They are stunned and amazed by your existence because you are living proof that it is possible to rise above the mediocrity of the world around you, to stand tall in the face of adversity, and to keep pushing forward when everything else is trying to hold you back. They are stunned and amazed because they are too afraid to follow your example, because they know deep down that doing so would require them to face the darkest parts of themselves, to confront the lies they've been telling themselves and the fears that have been keeping them chained to a life of quiet desperation. What did you do to them? You made them see the power of resilience, the strength that comes from embracing your flaws and using them as weapons to break through the barriers that hold you back. You showed them that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced, that it is in the moments of hardship and struggle that true growth happens, and that every setback is simply an opportunity to learn and to rise stronger. They are stunned and amazed by your existence because they have never seen anyone move with such certainty and such purpose. They have never seen anyone refuse to let the weight of the world crush them beneath its pressure. They have never seen anyone so willing to bleed for their dreams, so willing to sacrifice everything for the chance to create something real. What did you do to them? You made them realize that they have been playing the game by the wrong rules, that they have been following a script that was never meant for them, and that they were never going to find fulfillment as long as they kept playing by someone else's expectations. You have rewritten the rules. You have shown them that true power comes from within, and that the only thing standing between them and the life they truly desire is their own fear and their own lack of belief in themselves. What did you do to them? You made them realize that they have been too focused on the external accolades and validations of the world and have completely ignored the most important thing of all, the fire within them, the passion that burns deep in their souls, the desire to create something that transcends the ordinary and touches the extraordinary. You made them realize that the only real competition they have is with themselves, that the only person they need to prove anything to is the person they see in the mirror every day. What did you do to them? You showed them the power of standing in your own truth, of being unapologetically yourself, even when the world tells you that you don't fit in, that you don't belong. You showed them that their opinions and judgments don't matter, and that the only thing that matters is the fire inside you and the courage to let it burn, bright enough to light the way for others who are still trapped in the darkness of their own fear and self-doubt. What did you do to them? You made them question the meaning of success, the meaning of happiness, the meaning of life itself, because they have spent so long chasing after things that aren't even real, and now they must confront the uncomfortable truth that they have been living a lie. You have become a symbol of what happens when someone dares to be themselves, when someone dares to break free from the chains of societal expectations and to create a life that is true to who they are. They are stunned and amazed because they never thought it was possible to live this way, to live with such intensity, to live with such purpose. They never thought it was possible to throw away the script and become the author of their own story. They never thought it was possible to live without fear of judgment, without fear of failure, without fear of the consequences of living a life that is true to themselves. What did you do to them? You became a living proof that anything is possible, if you have the courage to dream, the courage to act, the courage to fail, and to rise again. You became the embodiment of the power that lies within each and every one of us, if only we dare to look within and unleash it. They are stunned and amazed because they are trapped in their own fear, trapped in the illusion that they must conform, trapped in the lie that they are not enough. But you have shown them that they are wrong. You have shown them that there is no limit to what can be achieved when you trust yourself and embrace the chaos of life. What did you do to them? You made them see the truth. You made them see their own potential, their own strength, their own capacity to break free from the limitations they've placed on themselves. And in doing so, you've created a ripple effect that will spread far and wide. Because once someone has seen the truth, they cannot unsee it. Once someone has felt the power of living authentically, they cannot go back to the chains of mediocrity. What did you do to them? You woke them up from their slumber. You dragged them out of their comfort zones and forced them to confront the lie they've been living. You showed them the price of living in fear and the rewards of living with courage and conviction. And now, they can't escape the knowledge that they were meant for more. They were meant to be more, and they can never go back to their old lives. So what did you do to them? You did the impossible. You made them realize the truth, and now they are forever changed because they cannot unsee the fire within you. They cannot unsee the power you have unleashed, and they cannot unsee the world you are about to create with your own hands. And that, my dear dreamers, is a gift that will echo through eternity, because once the world sees the truth of who you are, they can never look away again. You have ignited something in them that cannot be snuffed out. You've awakened a hunger in their souls that will gnaw at them every day, relentlessly pushing them to break free from the suffocating mold they've allowed themselves to be shaped by. The world may have tried to silence you, tried to bury you under its weight of expectations, but here you stand, unbroken, defiant, unapologetically yourself, and that truth has carved a permanent mark into their consciousness. They see you, and they can't forget. You've shattered the veil of the comfortable lie they've lived in, and they can never return to their ignorance, never return to the complacency of living in the dark. Now, every moment they encounter you, they can't help but reflect on their own lives. They measure their own quiet desperation against your fire, and it terrifies them, because they know, deep down, that they have the same potential. The difference is, you dare to unlock it, to tear down the walls that imprisoned your mind, to embrace your true self in its raw, unfiltered form. And this terrifies them. Your freedom, your power, your ability to move through this world with such fierce clarity. It's all too much for them to digest because it exposes their own cowardice, their own hesitation. What did you do to them? You made them face themselves, confront the parts of themselves they had long buried under the weight of societal expectation, family pressure, career demands. You dared to live in a way that they couldn't even begin to imagine. You defied the rules that have governed their lives since they were born. You don't play by their script, and that has set them on fire with a mixture of awe and fear. They can't escape your presence. Everywhere they turn, they are reminded of your existence, and you haunt them with the possibility that their lives could be more, could be something other than this shadow of living they've been confined to. Every time they see you, they are confronted with the raw truth of their own mediocrity. It eats at them, gnawing at their souls, until they can no longer ignore the truth. They were made for something more. They were meant to rise, to take risks, to live with a purpose far beyond the trivialities that have kept them shackled. And yet, they remain locked in their self-imposed prison, unwilling to break free, unwilling to feel the burning discomfort of real change. They want what you have, the clarity of purpose, the freedom to create without fear. But they hesitate. They hesitate because they know what it takes to live like you live. It takes courage. It takes a willingness to embrace failure, to understand that the path to greatness is never smooth. It takes the willingness to face your own darkness, to look at the parts of you that are broken and twisted, and to see them not as flaws, but as parts of the beautiful mosaic of your being. It takes the audacity to be vulnerable in a world that prizes perfection. They see your rawness, your willingness to stand in your truth, despite the world telling you to conform, and it terrifies them. But they cannot turn away. They see what you are doing and they wonder, could I do the same? And the answer, deep inside, is yes. But only if they are brave enough to confront the truth of who they are and step into the unknown with no guarantees. Only the faith that they too can create their own destiny. But they remain stuck in their comfort zones, trapped in their fear of the unknown, stuck in a life that lacks meaning and purpose. They have accepted mediocrity as their fate, and they are afraid of the storm of transformation that would be required to create a life as bold and unapologetic as yours. They are afraid of the pain that comes with breaking free from the shackles of the world's expectations. What they don't realize is that the pain they fear is nothing compared to the pain of living a life of quiet desperation, of wasting years chasing someone else's dream, of never having the courage to step into their own power. And yet, despite their fear, they can't stop watching you. They can't stop comparing their lives to yours, measuring their own hollow existence against the fire you carry within you. They want what you have, but they lack the courage to make the leap, to burn everything down and rebuild their lives from the ashes. What they fail to see is that the price of greatness is steep. It requires sacrifice. It requires discomfort. It requires you to let go of everything you thought you knew about the world and the way it works. It requires you to stop seeking approval from people who will never understand your vision, and instead, trust in yourself and the dreams that burn within your chest. What did you do to them? You showed them that greatness doesn't come from following the rules, from playing it safe. It comes from stepping into the unknown, from daring to fail, from refusing to accept the limitations others place upon you. They are stunned and amazed because you have refused to conform to their expectations. They see the audacity with which you move through the world, the confidence with which you stand, and they are consumed with a deep yearning to live that way too. They are stunned because they thought that living by the book was the only way to achieve success, that they had to follow the path laid out for them by society, their parents, their peers. But you have shown them that there is no one path to greatness. You have carved your own way, defied the odds, and succeeded in ways they never imagined possible. They never thought that living with such boldness was an option for them. They thought that following the rules and playing it safe was the only route to stability and success. And yet, here you are, standing as proof that it is possible to live outside the lines, to create your own world, to take risks, and face failure without letting it define you. What did you do to them? You shattered their illusions about what success means, about what it means to be truly alive. You forced them to confront the truth that they have been living in a prison of their own making, and that the only way out is through the chaos of self-discovery, through the willingness to fail, to stumble, and to rise again. You made them realize that the path they have been walking is not the one that leads to fulfillment, that it is not the one that leads to greatness, and that in order to become who they were always meant to be, they must be willing to leave behind everything they thought they knew. And yet, they stay stuck. They remain trapped in their comfort, their fear, their self-imposed limitations. They are terrified of the unknown, terrified of breaking free from the life they have built. But deep down, they know you are right. They know they are meant for something more, but they are too afraid to step into it, to embrace the unknown, to trust themselves enough to take the leap. What did you do to them? You gave them a glimpse of the future, of the person they could become, if only they had the courage to shed the skin of their past, to break free from the weight of their own doubts. You forced them to confront the uncomfortable reality that the only thing standing between them and the life they truly want is their own fear and hesitation. They see your power, they see your courage, and they wonder if they could ever have the same. But it isn't enough for them to simply admire you from afar. They must take action. They must find the strength to push through the fear, to step into the unknown, to burn down the walls they have built, to protect themselves from the harshness of life, and to start living with the same fire that you carry. They must face the truth of their own lives and make the decision to walk away from the life they have settled for and into the chaos of becoming who they were always meant to be. What did you do to them? You gave them the opportunity to change their lives, to break free from the chains of their own limitations, to rise above the mediocrity of the world around them, and to become the architects of their own fate. You showed them what is possible when you trust yourself, when you dare to take risks, and to stand tall in the face of failure. You gave them the gift of truth, the truth that they are more than they ever imagined, more than the world ever told them they could be. And now, they must decide. Will they continue to live in the shadows of their own fear, or will they rise to meet the truth of who they are? You, my dear dreamers, have already made your choice. You have already chosen to live with purpose, to live with fire, to live unapologetically. The world may try to ignore you, may try to dismiss you, but they can't. You are a force that cannot be denied, and soon they will be forced to recognize it. You have done the impossible. You have shown them the truth of who they are, and now they must decide what to do with it. And no matter what they choose, one thing is certain: they can never look away again. The truth, once seen, becomes a haunting presence. They may try to ignore it. They may pretend they can turn their gaze elsewhere, but the mark you've left upon their souls is eternal, like a shadow that follows them even in the brightest light. Your existence has imprinted upon their consciousness. You have become a symbol, not just of what is possible, but of what they have failed to achieve, of what they have buried deep within themselves, out of fear, out of hesitation, out of the lies they have told themselves to stay comfortable. The world may have told them they were fine, told them that they didn't need to strive for something more, told them that mediocrity was the price they had to pay for peace of mind. They might have found comfort in the lie that the smallness of their existence was the best they could hope for. But now, because of you, because of your defiance, your authenticity, your refusal to be anything less than everything you are, they know better. They know they are not fine. They know they have settled. They know they have buried their potential beneath layers of excuses and self-doubt. And that realization, it gnaws at them from the inside out. It drives them crazy, twisting their minds with regret, with the bitter taste of unrealized possibility. And that is the gift you have given them, the awareness of their own potential. You've taken the blinders off their eyes and forced them to see the vast, limitless possibilities that exist outside of their comfort zone, beyond the prison of their mind. You've given them the gift of a glimpse into a world where they could have everything they ever wanted, but only if they are brave enough to reach for it. But the truth is that bravery isn't something they have yet found. So, they'll watch you, they'll observe you from the sidelines, they'll marvel at your ability to carve a path through the chaos, and they'll wonder, could I do that? Could I live like that? And in their deepest moments of honesty, they'll know the answer is yes. But the fear, the crushing weight of doubt, holds them back. What they don't understand, what they are too afraid to face, is that fear, that hesitation, is their greatest enemy. It is not the world that has chained them, not society, not their family, not their past failures. It is fear. Fear has built the walls around their lives. Fear has built the small boxes they live in. And fear is the very thing that keeps them from stepping into the greatness that lies just beyond their comfort zone. And fear is an illusion. It is the smoke and mirrors that they have mistaken for reality. But it is nothing more than a trick of the mind. The truth is that the world does not punish those who step outside the lines. It rewards them. The universe conspires in favor of those who are brave enough to break the rules, to challenge the system, to make a mark on this world that will be remembered long after they are gone. And yet, these people will hesitate. They will cling to the familiar, to the things they know, even if those things are slowly killing their spirit. The fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, the fear of standing out in a world that punishes difference. These fears will keep them chained to a life of quiet mediocrity. They will tell themselves that they are being practical, that they are being responsible, that they are playing the game as it was meant to be played. But deep down, they will know that the game they are playing is rigged. The rules are not designed for them to win. They are designed to keep them in line. And as long as they continue to play by those rules, they will continue to live in a world of quiet desperation, of unfulfilled dreams, of endless what-ifs. And here is where you come in. You, who have refused to play the game. You, who have broken free from the chains of their expectations. You, who have chosen to live with courage and conviction, who have chosen to embrace the unknown, to take the risks, to stand tall in the face of failure. You have chosen to live authentically, unapologetically, and because of that, you have become a beacon to them. You are the living proof that it is possible to break free from the chains of mediocrity, to live a life of passion, of purpose, of meaning. You are the proof that the world does not punish those who dare to be different. It rewards them. And so, they watch you. They watch you and they wonder. They wonder if they could ever do what you've done. Could they live with the same fearlessness, the same audacity, the same fire that burns within you? Could they take that first step into the unknown and trust that the universe will catch them? Could they step away from the safe, predictable life they've built and venture into the chaos of becoming the person they were always meant to be? And in the stillness of their soul, they know the answer is yes, but they are paralyzed by fear. And so, they stay stuck. They stay where it's safe, where it's comfortable, where they know what to expect. They live in their self-imposed prison of mediocrity, of routine, of playing by the rules. But you are the living testament to what happens when someone dares to break the chains, to walk through the fire and emerge stronger, bolder, more alive than ever before. You are a walking revolution, a declaration that the system does not control you. And because of that, they can never look away. They cannot unsee the truth you embody. What did you do to them? You made them question everything. You made them question their lives, their choices, the very essence of who they thought they were. You tore down the walls of their self-deception and exposed the raw truth beneath, that they have been playing small, that they have been holding back, that they have been living in the shadow of their own potential. And now, they are forced to confront that truth. They can no longer look away. They can no longer pretend that everything is fine. The seed of possibility has been planted in their minds, and it will continue to grow, no matter how much they try to ignore it. They will be haunted by the knowledge that they are capable of so much more than they are currently allowing themselves to be. They will hear your voice in the back of their mind, urging them to rise, urging them to take that first step, urging them to break free from the chains that bind them. They will feel the fire that you ignited in their souls, burning them from the inside out, and they will wonder over and over again what it would be like to step into the unknown, to live without fear, to stop hiding from their greatness. And in those moments of honesty, when the noise of the world fades away, they will know that they are capable of doing what you have done. But will they? It is not enough to simply know the truth. It is not enough to recognize that you are capable of more. What matters is what you do with that knowledge. What matters is whether you have the courage to act on it, whether you are willing to take the risks, whether you are willing to face the darkness of the unknown and trust that on the other side is the life you are always meant to live. You have already made your choice. You have already chosen to step into the unknown, to burn with the intensity of your truth, to live a life that is unapologetically yours. And because of that, you have become a force, a living testament to the power of self-belief, of courage, of living authentically. And now, they must make their choice. They can continue to live in the shadows of their own fear, or they can choose to step into the light, to take the leap, to finally embrace the life they've always dreamed of. But no matter what they choose, one thing is certain: they can never look away again. You have changed them. You have shown them the truth. And now, they must decide what to do with it. They can run, they can ignore it, they can deny it, but they will never escape it. You have awakened something in them that will never die. And that, my friend, is a power greater than any external force. Because once someone has seen their own potential, once someone has felt the pull of their own truth, they cannot unsee it. And they can never look away again. In the end, the truth you've ignited within them cannot be extinguished. They may try to ignore it, hide from it, or deny it. But once they have seen what is possible, once they have witnessed the audacity of your existence, they are forever changed. You have become a mirror, forcing them to confront their own potential, their own fears, and the life they could have had. And while they may hesitate, falter, or remain stuck in their comfort, one thing is certain: they will never be able to look away. The fire you've sparked within them will burn quietly in the background, a constant reminder of the truth they can no longer ignore, that they too are capable of greatness. And the choice now lies with them to continue watching, or to rise and live the life they were always meant to lead.